I let it run and we can talk whatever we want to. First
Nice.
question.
Yeah.
Do you water your plants after you walked her home?
Well, I never do the watering of the plants, but watering your plants is taking care of your home and those you love. And sometimes when I've been away too long, that's what it feels like when I come back. I need to stay here for a while and water my plants because, sometimes when you're away, things just go on. So you got to find your way back in. So it's one of the dilemmas in doing what I do. I love being on the road, but I love being home. And when you find the right balance, I'm a very happy man. But sometimes the balance is a little off. Sometimes I'm on the road too much, and I really miss going back. When I'm home too much, my wife used to, she can tell, the first weekend, I usually say on Thursdays and Fridays, oh, it's so nice to be home. I'm glad I'm not going for a gig. And then already Friday night, I start to become restless and I just want to go on the road. So it's like you obviously guessed, it's like what do you call it? A symbolic way of saying taking care of your home, watering your plants.
But isn't that typical for, let's say, blues people? What kind of blues, whatever they play, but that songs come from the road, from the life, from the feelings.
It definitely from the feelings. I mean, I think it should be grounded music. It should be saying something that everybody can relate to. Everybody, it's not just musicians who are away sometimes, but everything that goes on in regular people's life, being madly in love or being left behind or having too much work or being ecstatically happy, or all these things, very grounded things that everybody knows about. I like writing about that, but it always comes from my own experience or my own feeling. It might not be biographical, but it always takes place in something I've experienced myself in one way or the other.
I just was wondering when you've been a drifter.
Ooh, don't get me started.
Okay, no answer needed. We call it in German Waschzettel.
Waschzettel.
Yeah, this is this piece of paper where the record company and the promoters are writing their made-up stories and ideas about what this musician is.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's always funny to read.
It is. I think when I read yours first, it said, he's a Danish blues man.
Okay.
Okay, there is some blues in it, but it's not the usual blues. It's no Elmore James, no Howlin' Wolf, no Charlie Patton or Robert Johnson. How would you describe yourself as a musician?
If I was from the outside listening to this record, I might not even call it a blues record. But I fell in love with blues music very early. I think I was 12 years old, and it became like an obsession for me. Through my teenage years, all I listened to was B.B. King and Elmore James and Buddy Guy and Howlin' Wolf, Muddy Waters. Then when I became my early 20s, I fell really in love all over again with soul music. And all I listened to was Al Green and Marvin Gaye and Donny Hathaway and Sam Cooke, Aretha Franklin. So those are my two main loves when it comes to music. Then as a young man, all I wanted to do was to prove to the world that I knew these genres. I wanted to play this. And I think that's what I did on my first record. Then I kind of realized as you grow older, well, nobody's going to believe you if you're a skinny white boy from Denmark singing about picking cotton in Mississippi. So in my mid-20s and up till now, and I think for the rest of my life, my mission is to kind of find my own way within this type of music. And I try to let go more and more of the rules and the stuff, because the blues genre is a very conservative genre, and I think that's not something that the blues lovers do out of. I think it's out of love to the music. We want to keep something alive that was, and I also do. And I also used to be really a purist. But I let that go because I realized it's not going to move anywhere if we all think like that. So I think the biggest tribute I can give to the masters I listen to is not to travel around on the road playing mediocre copies, because that's all it's going to be. I might be really good at it and I might come really close, but it'll always be a secondhand copy. I mean, if I listen to myself when I really hit it and I put on a B.B. King afterwards, I say, well, I'm no way near. So what I can do is try to tell my own stories, but since I've listened so much to blues and soul, it'll always be there. And I think it's there, like you say, it's there in the record. But I'm also a huge Beatles fan and I like new stuff. So I try to just do whatever I feel like.
Danish soul blues.
Yeah.
There are a lot of Danish people who love blues and soul music. There are a lot of Danish groups as well who makes this old stuff with their own tradition.
Yeah.
And putting up something new, like the White Album or...
Exactly. The White Album is a good example. I think they're doing the same. I think they have very much the same approach. They love the retro sound. They love the old school vibe. But they also... like myself, feel the need to in some way be present in the time I'm living in and not just be like a retro act.
Are you sometimes, well, I wouldn't say sad, but in a way angry that with music like that you won't hit the charts really, not on top position, that so many people doing what I would call Micky-Maus music,
right,
are on top and earning money? They never could really...
I not anymore. I mean, no, because I made a choice. I'm never going to go for that. I still have, who knows? There are still, I mean, it's not like everything on the charts sucks. There are really good things too. And who knows, maybe I'll write a song like that at some time. But I'm not going to specifically go for it because that's not my talent. If I had that talent, I mean, I'm 38 now, I would have written that song. So my talent is, I think, to tell these stories and make whole albums and hopefully make music that some people like. But I would like to gain a wider audience. I do think, though, that there are a lot of Mickey Mouse stuff on the radio. And I think there are a lot of mainstream music. And I think... when I think back of my parents' generation, I think edgier music had a chance on the radio, and I think there were more time to go into deep stuff. But I think that's a general thing for the society now. But who knows what's going to happen? I mean, now we're in a radio station, and 20 years ago, the one mainstream radio station decided everything. Now when the FM band is gone pretty soon, what happens then? Maybe there'll be more room on the small internet stations or DAB stations for edgier music. I don't know what's going to happen. But I would like to see more, I think maybe it might be prerogative, but more real music, hand-played music, heartfelt music doing well. It's very... business-oriented. But hasn't it been like that always? I don't know, maybe. No, the 60s and the 50s and 70s was much...
No, I could have been your father from the age.
No.
Oh, yes. As you said, you're 38.
Yeah.
I'm 62 now.
Yeah, well, then you could.
So I know these times.
Yeah.
In those days, and when I started doing radio,
yeah,
we could play whatever we wanted to, in a way.
Yeah.
And nobody looked... Is it a 2-minute song, a 3-minute song? We could play Hey Jude in 7 minutes.
Yeah.
And if we had fun, it was no problem playing Autobahn was 24 minutes or Child in Time was 20 minutes, things like that. That wouldn't happen today anymore.
No.
Even not in this station.
Really?
Only at night.
Yeah.
And then you get letters or mails from the listeners saying, what's this guy doing there? We don't need a host for the show if he's playing 20-minute songs.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, there's other people who say, great.
Yeah, of course.
Now we have the chance of listening to that old stuff and to the long songs.
Yeah. But I mean, I cannot stand the very mainstream commercial radio today. I can't stand it. So it would make no sense for me to design my music for that.
Well, you're not in that here.
No, I know. I checked this out. Everybody tells me this is a cool station, but I did manage. I mean, in Denmark, I did manage to kind of cross over, but it took a lot of years. But in Denmark, I'm playing. My music is played on the Danish national radio, DR, on their more mainstream channels.
I think some of the songs even would have the chance to go into our pool.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So I'm playlisted there not as a blues artist, but just as a music artist. And I really like that. No, I don't want to turn my back on what I've built my music on, not at all. But I do like when people come to the show or listen to my music just because they think it's good music and not there to check if I follow all the blues rules. And I mean that brings the anarchist out in me. You know, I say, well, it's too pop, then I go even more pop, you know, because I listened to those records since I was 12 years old. It's so deep in my heart. And even though I don't do like straight retro blues records, I mean, I love those blues records till the day I die. And it's I don't have to keep doing retro records to prove that to myself. You see my point?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Of course I do. But this would lead me to the question, if there would have been a little fairy, or there would be this little fairy, which would grant you one wish, and this wish would be you could play with any musician in this world, dead or alive.
Really?
Yeah. Who would that be?
I was very close to playing with my biggest hero. My biggest hero of all time is B.B. King, which has recently passed away. And I've had the honor of playing support for him 3 times, so I was very close to him. And I spoke with him once in his dressing room, and that was huge for me. But I never got to play with him, and that makes me sad because I was so close. And I know that sometimes he took up the support acts, but those three times he was at that time he was so old he didn't even come until we finished. But so he never got a chance to hear it. But I would have loved that. But there are many. I mean,
it's only one.
Only one. Then I would have to say B.B. King. Ray Charles comes very close. I mean, B.B. King and Ray Charles are my main inspirations, but then there are many.
Next comes Muddy Waters.
Yeah, or maybe...
Elmer James.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Playing Dust My Broom with him.
That would be amazing. Or even John Lennon. I would have... Yeah. There are many artists. There are also new acts that I would like to collaborate with if I had the chance. I think there are some interesting things going on right now.
Where?
Yeah. Well, bands like the Black Keys and a band like Alabama Shakes, I think they're giving really... Yeah.
We're speaking about roots music.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Then I agree.
Yeah. I think those 2 acts have actually given like a really good example of what blues music can sound like today.
What about the Carolina Chocolate Drops?
That's a good...
Rhiannon Giddens.
Yeah.
Don Flemons.
But that's even more traditional, I think.
Rhiannon Giddens?
No, Rhiannon Giddens not. No. But that's true. So you see, that's
She's
exactly...
a nice woman, of
yeah.
course. And she looks great.
But there are some very interesting things going on.
Have you ever heard of Bing Bertram?
No.
You should.
Oh, I'll check that out.
He's you could say the white counterpart to Don Flemons.
Wow.
Doing Piedmont blues and old folk songs and cowboy and country songs and things like that. So what Flemons did with the black, he's doing partly for the white.
Oh, I gotta check that out.
Wink Bertram.
Nice.
Okay. Why are you not going to play in Thunder Festival?
I am.
This year?
Yes.
Ah, we see you again.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Great.
I'm playing Friday night.
Ah, I'll be there.
10:15.
I'll be there.
Nice.
Great.
Yeah.
And there you have the Wade and Jenny's.
Oh, yeah, looking forward to him. But do you know which day that is?
No.
No. You just go there, pull out those days from your calendar. Are you going there as a audience or to do radio?
Radio.
Radio.
in foreign, I just make the interview.
Yeah.
And then I listen and have a drink or two.
It's a nice festival.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's will be the third year this time, and I love this festival.
Yeah, it's really something special. And there you have something going against the mainstream.
Yeah, that's true. You're going to play with Hans to Sink?
No, there are no plans of that.
You should.
Yeah, that would be nice. Is he there with Knud Møller? Or? Yeah, probably is. Or Terry Evans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, we're playing that Friday night.
Great. So we see again.
Cool.
Do I have any more questions? Actually, no, I don't, because
I mean, sorry if I talk too much.
no, that's fine.
I'm a talker.
No, that's great. That's absolutely great. But I never ask really questions about the songs because
This is much more interesting because then we get a talk going.
If I ask about songs, I don't have to play them.
Exactly.
And if you're not able to put everything into the song, it's not worth being played.
I completely agree. That's sometimes when they start asking me about each and every song, I say, why don't you just listen to them?
So the only question was, do you water
your
plants
plants
after you walked her home?
Yeah, that's
Which
good.
was a little bit,
Yeah. So you wanted me to play some songs?
Yes,
or?
please, if you want to.
I could just do 2 songs from the new record, and then you can use them if you want to. Or... Should I do that? The first one is Raindrop in a Drought. Okay? Just like a raindrop in a drought. Finally someone who gets what I'm all about, and it's you. Sometimes I hurt you so bad, stay away just to roam. Here's how you handle a man like that. Now you go, shh, honey, just glad you're home, just like a raindrop in a drought.